Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is the day, the big day, August 15th, the meeting between President Trump and President Putin in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. I actually visited that place. So I think before I give you the details as far as who's going, who is participating in this, from Russian side at least, that's what I came across, as well as what time it starts, as well as my few cents about what I think this meeting ultimately is about, if you're interested in my opinion. Some of you are, and I appreciate it very much. I will also tell you about significance of this particular day, not just in Poland, because this is a holiday in Poland, and else actually in many other countries. August 15 is a very important day, not just because of this meeting, but because of other things as well. And before we end this video, I would like to show you two clips that are very cool. And the last one is why Russians don't smile, because probably some of you have noticed if you travel to Russia that it's not as common as if you go to Asia, for example, and you see the smiling faces. It's a little different culture. It doesn't mean those are not warm people. But perhaps when you will look at the delegation, you will not see too many smiles. But there are several reasons for it, besides the aspect of tradition and culture. Let me start with something different, just for a change. One of those people who, of course, will be participating in this meeting is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, Sergei Lavrov. This is an old, it doesn't ever get old clip. Let me play it, the one and only Sergei Lavrov.
Russia had its own Pussy Riot moment. What do you think of Donald Trump's Pussy Riot moment?
Well, I don't know whether this would. English is not my mother tongue. I don't know whether I would be. I would sound. Decent. There are so many pussies around your presidential campaign on both sides that I prefer not to comment about this.
Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting that. Russia had its own Pussy.
So as you can probably tell, this was recorded, I believe, before Trump won the first election in 2016. But Sergei Lavrov is going, as we know. Now let me take you to the article of TASS on the official note, and then we go straight to official information who will be participating. This is from today, meeting between Putin and Trump to start on Friday, that's today, at 10 p.m. Moscow time. According to the document, at 5:45 p.m. local time, and that is 4:45 a.m. Saturday Moscow time, Trump will leave Anchorage and fly to Washington. A meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and American President Donald Trump, like I told you here, will begin on Friday at 11 a.m. local time, that is 10 p.m. Moscow time, as follows from the schedule of the American leader distributed by the White House. According to the document, at 5:45 p.m. local time, and that is 4:45 a.m. Saturday Moscow time, Trump will leave Anchorage and fly to Washington. I read this already. This is interesting now. The presidents will hold the first face-to-face talks between the two heads of state since June 2021, when Putin met in Geneva with Joe Biden. Was it Joe Biden? Then head of the Washington administration. Putin will become the first Russian leader to visit Alaska. Can you believe this? I didn't know it. Putin will become the first Russian leader to visit Alaska. Actually, I didn't know that. Russian President Yuri Ushakov said on Thursday that the meeting would begin with a one-on-one conversation in which, besides the leaders, only interpreters will participate. Then the leaders will be joined by members of the delegations, 5 people from each side. I'm actually going to play you this video. Audio, it's an audio, video with an audio, because it gives a lot of details. But now I would like to take you to Putin. This is, I believe, from yesterday. A few words from Putin as far as this meeting goes.
Уважаемые коллеги, добрый день. Попросил вас сегодня собраться для того, чтобы проинформировать о том, как идет переговорный процесс по украинскому кризису, как идут переговоры в двухстороннем формате с украинской делегацией. Так или иначе, многие из присутствующих знают, разумеется, в общих чертах, но расскажу поподробнее. Это первое. И второе, рассказать о том, на каком этапе мы находимся с американской администрацией сегодняшней, которая, как всем хорошо известно, предпринимает, на мой взгляд, достаточно энергичные и искренние усилия для того, чтобы прекратить боевые действия, прекратить кризис и выйти на договоренности, представляющие интерес для всех вовлеченных в этот конфликт сторон, для того, чтобы создать долгосрочные условия мира и между нашими странами, и в Европе, да и в мире в целом, если мы к следующим этапам выйдем на договоренности в области контроля над стратегическими наступательными вооружениями.
So you heard from Putin. Now let me take you to a little bit longer video from Ushakov from Russia. And he said in this one who is going and what to expect as far as the meeting goes. And then I take you to some very, very cool videos. So let's take a listen.
The preparations for the meeting between the presidents of Russia and the United States have entered the final stage. Considering that the meeting was announced only 5 days ago, that is, on the night from last Friday to Saturday, everything is being done in an intensive mode. A large number of technical issues are being resolved, including visa matters. And of course, active work is underway first and foremost on the political component of the summit. I can say that the program for the leaders' meeting has been agreed upon. As you all know well, this meeting will take place in Alaska, in Anchorage. Specifically at one of the facilities of the joint military base, Elmendorf-Richardson. It is planned that everything will begin tomorrow, August 15th. At approximately 11:30 local time, with a conversation between Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin and Donald Trump. This conversation will take place in a one-on-one format, naturally with interpreters present. After that, talks will be held in a delegation format, and these talks will continue over a working breakfast. The list of participants has already been determined. Given that very important and sensitive topics will be discussed, the circle of participants in the talks is not large. I will name the members of the Russian delegation: Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Presidential Foreign Policy Advisor Yuri Ushakov, Defense Minister Andrei Belousov, Finance Minister Anton Silvanov, and the Presidential Special Representative for Investment and Economic Cooperation with Foreign Countries, Kirill Dmitriev. The composition of the American delegation is also known, but it would probably be appropriate to wait for the corresponding announcement from our American partners. That is, apart from the presidents, 5 members from each delegation will participate in the talks. And of course, a group of experts will be present nearby. After the negotiations conclude, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump will hold a joint press conference where they will summarize the results of the talks. As for the summit's agenda, it is probably obvious to everyone that the central topic will be the settlement of the Ukrainian crisis, including in light of the discussions held in the Kremlin, as you may recall, on August 6th with the participation of the U.S. President's Special Envoy, Stephen Witkoff. However, broader issues of ensuring peace and security, as well as pressing and most acute international and regional matters, will naturally also be addressed. An exchange of views is expected regarding the further development of bilateral cooperation, including in the trade and economic sphere. I should note that this cooperation has enormous and, unfortunately, still untapped potential. What else would I like to mention? Near the military base where the talks will take place, a memorial cemetery holds the graves of 9 Soviet pilots, as well as 2 military personnel and 2 civilians who perished between 1942 and 1945 while ferrying aircraft from the U.S. to the Soviet Union under the Lend-Lease program. Thus, the meeting will take place near a historically significant site that serves as a reminder of the wartime brotherhood between our nations. This is especially symbolic in the year marking the 80th anniversary of the victory over Nazi Germany and militarist Japan.
So that was very informative. I hope you appreciate it, because this is actually, Ushakov is one of those people who will be part of the delegation. Probably they are already there in Alaska. And now I want to take you, everyone, to a video. Fake news, I think it's Australian Sky News, is it? Australian news channel. I'm just wondering, well, let me play it first, and then I will give you my few cents of my commentary.
Most people here know this summit is happening, but few are willing to predict the outcome. Would you be concerned if you were Ukrainian?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I would be. I'm concerned as an American. I'd be concerned if I was Russian. I'd be terrified if I was Ukrainian.
The only person hurts over war is the person fighting the war. It ain't Putin, it ain't Trump, it ain't Zelensky. It's the guys out there on the ground.
Are you concerned that Vladimir Zelensky's not going to be in the room?
I mean, these two guys have probably the ultimate egos in the world. I'm not sure Zelensky's got the self-control to tread lightly on those egos.
Close to the site of the summit is a display of support for Ukraine. Meg bought this flag after Zelensky's disastrous visit to the White House in February. How do you feel about Putin being a few miles from your house, being hosted on a US military base?
He's not welcome here. And I certainly think that Putin being here, he should be arrested. He is an international criminal. He is killing women and children and people in hospitals.
In one of the most beautiful parts of America, a stillness is being pierced by a cacophony of questions. Why was Putin invited here? What does he want? What's he willing to concede? And is Donald Trump about to walk into his trap? Martha Kellner, Sky News, Anchorage, Alaska.
So I don't know about you, but myself, when I watch people like that, especially the last lady, right, with this humongous size Ukrainian flag hanging on the tree, poor tree. Well, it wasn't Bandera flag, so anyway, I'm almost taking this as a comedy. I don't know if it's a tragedy or if it's a comedy, because this first and foremost fake news, right? As far as the channel goes, as I was told many times, Anya, Sky News, fake news, okay? But I'm just wondering, like, okay, the woman has a flag hanging. Clearly, she is pro-Ukraine, so let's go and interview her for sure. We have a good one, right? But then you come across people on the streets, and the most sense that was spoken was from this gentleman who was wearing the black baseball cap and was actually, I think he was drinking coffee or something. And he was saying that the regular people, you know, are paying the price, right? They die in the war, you know. That's actually exactly what it is. But then the other one that is talking about egos, as if Zelensky has no ego. Well, you know, I don't know if he has anything left. There is no soul, there is no backbone, there is hardly any stamina, unless he sniffs probably 1 kilo of something. So it's interesting how they find those people and how the brainwashing still works. In a far, far land of a peaceful and fresh air Alaska, you still have someone who is hanging Ukrainian flag on the tree. Can you believe it? And I'm sure if I would ask some of those people where Ukraine is located on the map, what countries are the neighboring countries, just give an idea, I don't think they would be able to tell. I mean, if they don't look it up, right? Or maybe she knows, maybe she's Zelensky's huge fan and etc. But guys, so that was that. Now let me take you to the significance of this day, and I will read this quickly, and then we go to 2 very cool videos from Instagram. So what this day, August 15th, is about, especially in Poland, but many other countries as well. Today, Our Lady of Herbs and the Day of the Polish Army. So yes, in Poland, we celebrate this day as the Day of the Polish Army, but also is the solemnity of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the Day of the Polish Army. In Italy, this day is a joyful Ferragosto, is celebrated as well. In India and Congo, it's Independence Day. And there are few more countries that celebrate this day. So let me just scroll down and I tell you, because it's very interesting. In Greece, this is the feast of the Dormition, if I mispronounce, apologies, of the Theotokos, I think, Theotokos, one of the most important holidays in the local Orthodox tradition, celebrated with numerous pilgrimages, for example, to the island of Tinos. In Spain, August 15 is also a religious holiday and a day off from work. In Italy, I already said, Ferragosto is celebrated, a festival with ancient roots, which today is a symbol of summer holidays and family gatherings. Congo and India, it's Independence Day. South Korea and North Korea celebrate Liberation Day, commemorating the end of the Japanese occupation. In Costa Rica, even in Costa Rica, August 15 is Mother's Day. And in Liechtenstein, a public holiday to celebrate the anniversary of the birth of Prince Franz Joseph II. So a lot of countries give very significant meaning to this day. And yes, today in Poland, we celebrated And it's a day off. It's a holiday. It's a church holiday day off for everyone. A beautiful weather, by the way, in Poland. I don't know about your countries. And now let me take you to two very cool videos. So as far as Russia, cold weather, and Alaska, of course, now Alaska is not cold, but it can be very cold. Let me show you a Russian gymnast that broke the record. And it's a very beautiful one, and it kind of sets a tone as far as coldness, Alaska in the winter time. So I muted this, guys, because I decided to read to you this beautiful girl. What did she do? Well, her name is Maria Roslyakova. She became the first gymnast in history to perform a routine at the North Pole, at the point where the meridians converge. The Earth temperature was close to 0. This is in Fahrenheit, I think. Of course, because Russia can be like minus 50 or something. But the Russian compelled all the elements in a traditional swimsuit. How beautiful, look at this, and smile on the face. Now we're gonna go into smiles. Beautiful, let's give the like. This is Russia, the Russia spirit, everyone. Now, since I promised you, because this is really cool, we see how many people in the Russian delegation will be smiling. And if they are smiling, it has to really mean something. Because Russians, why Russians don't smile? So let's read this. Why don't Russians smile? 1 second, let me refresh this. I hope this can go better with the internet connection. Sorry, everyone. I think the internet is acting very strange. Doesn't want to collaborate with me. Let me refresh this. Okay, a smile is a sign of a personal liking. Russians don't smile at the strangers. It's uncommon for Russian to smile back. The Russians need a valid reason to smile. Russians' folklore is rich in proverbs warning against excessive laughter and smiling. It's not customary for Russians to smile when carrying out work responsibilities or important tasks. Don't mistake Russian seriousness for rudeness. If they smile, it's 100% real. That's actually true. I agree. And you know, Polish people have kind of similar approach. And this is from account of a Russian language teacher. So legit information, everyone. Anyway, sorry for the inconvenience with the internet connection in the last post, but I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. By the way, I forgot to tell you my few cents, what I think about this meeting. Sorry, guys. So in my sense, this is going to, well, first and foremost, what I think they are meeting about, besides the Ukraine public story, what is presented to the media and to the world. I said this many times, and I will say it again, I will keep on saying it, that Putin and Trump are fighting the same evil. So the same demons, the same evil that's sucking the blood, that needs the energy from human sacrifice, children sacrifice, dead corpse on the battlefield, etc., the fear-mongering, etc. The same kind of people who have created this situation in Ukraine You know, they come from Europe. It's the same Nazi, okay? The same Nazi Putin is fighting, that Trump is fighting. That Nazis that are in Ukraine have a different operation going, I should say, and those who are in United States that were never really punished, you know, in Nuremberg trials, they just escape, not just to Argentina, but they infiltrated the government all around the world. And of course, they took many positions in the government of United States, as well as all those three-letter agencies from the scratch, and created many projects. We all know about it. I don't have to explain. Those of you who don't, you will catch up, you do your research. But the Trump and Putin are fighting the same evil that is represented in a different way in two different countries, ultimately around the world. So, in my opinion, Russia was doing a major, it's not just my opinion, but Russia was doing major cleaning of those demons, and they take many forms, those demons, by the way. And, you know, they have those places, the laboratories. So my question now is, probably would be in this meeting, if everything has been already cleaned up and Russia took care of all of those places that could still potentially create any threat to humanity. This is, in my opinion, the main point. Of course, you will not hear about this anywhere in the media. So what you will hear about is the negotiations are going good, the negotiations are not going good, we come to some agreements, but we don't come to some agreements. You know, EU is freaking out, Zelensky is freaking out, the British monarchy is freaking out. So those who are still invested, because they lost already, it's just really they lost already. It's just the question now, how much more time Russia needs, or how many more places Russia still has to clean up, I would say this way. That's how I look at it. This is just my opinion. So you might probably hear again, I might be off, maybe not, that the conversations go well, that we agree to this, we agree to that. So there will be some progress, you know, some announcements like this, I believe. However, I don't think that the special military operation, as Putin calls it, is going to end with this meeting or, you know, right after that. I think if it ends, the earliest, in my opinion, will be probably November. Ultimately, it's almost like, if we know the big picture, do we really, and I'm not saying, you know, I want peace and all of this, but if you think about it, you know, people are being killed, it's horrific, but then when you think what is really underground, what kind of facilities, what kind of bases are underground that they are getting rid of, what they are cleaning up, that's what's at stake. And we go from there, everyone. So I hope you understand my spiel. I know many of you do. Sometimes I speak in a way that is hard to understand. I'm aware of it, but I'm sure there are a few of you who really get what I'm saying. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hitting thumbs up, subscribing and sharing my videos, and putting up with my English, even if I cannot fully express myself sometimes. I will attach all the links down below in the description box. Ultimately, what we want to hear, yes, there is a progress, which means we keep on going forward with the talks. I think there will be still some pushback, because really it's about timing. And like I told you before, we have to change a few governments, especially in Poland and other countries that are very close to Russia, because when you change the governments as well, there will be a little bit different maneuvering as far as the maintaining peace goes. So because of the elections that have been, I cannot use the word, changed in United States and 72 other countries, all of this has to come out to the surface. Some people have to be officially questioned. Those people who are escaping, for example, United States, like John Brennan, who used to be the head of the CIA, I believe. CIA, I think, right? He was the director of CIA, if I'm not mistaken. But they are escaping. You know, one runs away to England, one runs away to Austria, another to Italy, God knows where. Ultimately, doesn't matter where they go because they cannot hide. So what's the point, really? What I'm going with this is it's all connected as far as the timestamps go, because there will be a Chinese domino effect with falling down governments and everything will change. So even if there are some agreements or there is some good official story presented, I think there is still a lot of work that needs to be done on both sides of the evil that resides in the United States, that went there and spread there, the evil that's in Europe, and the leftovers of the evil that are in Ukraine. That's my take on. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thumbs up, share, subscribe, leave the comments down below. And if you choose to support my work, I really appreciate if you become my Patreon supporter, locals member, or you donate on PayPal. The links are as well down below the video. And if you have Instagram, follow me there. It's AniaK_44. And I see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.